Welcome to the second episode of the Influencer series and a profile of a notable Muslim philosopher. The biography and information presented in this video is extracted from my books in progress, Sins of the Fathers and Dangerous Ideas. Ibn Rushd, better known by his Latinized name Averroes, was born in Cordoba towards the end of Muslim rule in Spain. He was highly influential on European philosophers, especially Thomas Aquinas, due to his commentaries on Aristotle, and for this he is better known in Europe than in Islamic cultures. Only two of Aristotle's works survived in Latin, Categories and On Interpretation, and it was through Muslim scholarship like that of Ibn Rushd that his thinking was revived in Western Europe. In his commentaries, Ibn Rushd was particularly noted for rejecting the Neoplatonist ideas that had been mistakenly attached to Aristotle's thinking by others, such as Ibn Sina, known in Europe as Avicenna, and al-Farabi, and returning to a purer form of understanding Aristotle. Ibn Rushd stressed the concept of allegory, in which any passage in the Quran that contradicted a new discovery or observation should be viewed as a storytelling device and not be interpreted literally. Ibn Rushd was also a major influence on Maimonides, a Jewish philosopher also born in Cordoba, about a decade after Ibn Rushd. Maimonides would borrow the stress on allegory from Ibn Rushd, as Islamic philosophy played a critical role in shaping the thinking of Maimonides, and he would claim the necessity of using allegory in his aptly named Guide for the Perplexed. The willingness of Ibn Rushd to look critically at the Quran caused narrow-minded Muslims to object, and he was subsequently exiled shortly before his death. Russell notes that he was accused of putting the wisdom of ancient Greek philosophers before Islamic truth, and so the Caliph al-Mansur published an edict to the effect that God had decreed hellfire for those who thought that truth could be found by unaided reason. All the books that could be found on logic and metaphysics were given to the flames. The freedom of thought and philosophizing practiced by Ibn Sina and other enlightened Muslim scholars provoked a showdown with the Persian scholar al-Ghazali, who wrote a scathing condemnation called The Incoherence of the Philosophers. Al-Ghazali took exception to scholars like Ibn Sina, relying on the Greek philosophers such as Aristotle and the mistaken Platonic elements which Ibn Rushd also disputed, as they could be used to question the received wisdom of the Quran. Unlike Christianity, which absorbed Plato and the later incorporation of Aristotle by Aquinas via Ibn Rushd into its theology, the intolerance to knowledge demonstrated by al-Ghazali marks the rejection of this thinking within Islam. Though Ibn Rushd refuted al-Ghazali in Incoherence of the Incoherence, the die was cast, and he would be the last major Aristotelian Islamic philosopher to speculate about the nature of God, given the climate that grew increasingly hostile to the pursuit of knowledge and the slow decline of the Golden Age after he died. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to get notified of new videos. Please also consider supporting my work by becoming a Patreon sponsor. You can also find me on the following platforms.